This video from the Dubai International Airport. It looks like it's an ocean, basically. So what caused all this rain? Well, cloud seeding. Cloud seeding, that's the process of implanting chemicals and tiny particles into the atmosphere to try and get more rain from the clouds, which I guess works. All right, let's turn our attention to Hawaii now. The Attorney General of that state just released her first comprehensive report into what caused the deadly wildfire in Maui last year and the response. Joining us now with more on that is our meteorologist, Amy Metz. Amy, great to see you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's talk about the fire in Maui first, and then we'll get to the whole cloud seeding phenomenon in just a second. But what are we going to learn from this report out of Maui?
Well, today, what they've released so far and what they're expecting to release through the rest of the day does not include the cause of the fire. So ATF is going to continue to investigate that. It is a bit unusual. Having been someone who worked as a news producer in Hawaii, I can tell you that these wildfires do occur when there's high winds. There were very strong winds that day. A hurricane was said to be close by, but really it was 500 miles away. And there were very strong winds still, about 50 miles an hour with the gusts. At most, some of those wind speeds were around 80, a little over 80 miles per hour on some of the mountaintops. And that's what really fed this blaze. There were not just one fire going on here, but there were actually four. And two of them are considered the worst in Hawaii's history. And with that going on still, we still have so much to clean up, so much to figure out about how and why things were not handled in a timely manner, why there were people on guard, the firefighters who are there to go and do extra work that were on call then. They could not get their trucks for about an hour because they weren't stocked. They weren't ready to roll into the flames and help fight them. There were barricades. There were people going in circles, unable to get away from these flames, and more than 100 people did end up dying in this tragic fire. And so with the report, what we're finding today is that there are 17 concerns found by a third-party investigator that is giving Hawaii some of the tools, some of the ideas necessary to help move forward with preparedness plans that will take years. And I also have experience working with North Dakota's emergency state preparedness plans, which follow FEMA. And so working together, the collaborations can really save lives. That's another thing that was really missing during those Maui fires to help the residents who are now, many of them, without homes.
Yeah, let's hope that they can come up with some sort of plan to prevent this from happening again and all those circumstances that made this fire worse than it perhaps should have been. As long as it doesn't get bogged down in the government bureaucracy, those things can actually help. Real quickly, I wanted to ask you about this cloud seeding thing, too, because the video from Dubai is incredible. And this seems like science fiction type stuff, but they can actually make rain? Is this the future? What can you tell us about this, Amy?
It's very much a part of the past as it is the future. And I do know there are documented articles, very well robust articles, not just from the government outlining this for more than 100 years, but also news articles from San Diego. An event happened where they needed it to rain in 1915. So they put about 22 chemicals up into the sky to seed those clouds, help cause more what's called cloud condensation nuclei. When the moisture is present, it can create more rain with the right chemicals. And what happened was at least 22 people were confirmed dead at the end of those floods through San Diego. So whether or not this was cloud seeding, I have not been able to determine with any personal, real grounded reasoning to have fact behind it. But I can tell you, regardless of whether or not there was cloud seeding going on, there was extratropical moisture coming in from the equator. And what that means to a meteorologist is that those are larger raindrops. That's more water content available. And it really does rain like that naturally sometimes as well.
Yeah, sometimes it's not a question of not enough rain. It's the ability to hold on to that rain and be able to use that rain. Why you need reservoirs. It's a big issue we deal with in the state of Florida, too. But fascinating to see. I have a lot of questions about those chemicals, but we'll save that for another time. Great to see you, Amy Metz, meteorologist. Thanks for being with us.